Welcome to Renovating an Abandoned Resort. My name's Matt. I'm glad that you're here. This is my abandoned resort. It's pretty great. It's actually not. It's terrible. The first goal that I have that I need to attack very quickly is finding something, just something, one little thing out here at this resort that will start generating money, some income, because we are hemorrhaging money at a very scary rate. So I was like, well, we can start having a little RV park down by the river. People can come on vacation. They can stay down here, but we need a road to get there. So we're dumping a ton of money into this road right now to try to make it passable by trucks pulling travel trailers so people can come out here and start enjoying this freaking place. The road needs to be passable by small trucks carrying big RVs on a rainy day. So we need to get there, but let's just see if it's passable by a Bronco Raptor right now, which I think it is. Look at this, so nice. You can see how we've cut out the mountain on the left side over here. We're shoving everything to the right side because I want to make a 2-lane paved road. And this stuff is actually not too bad to chop out. A lot of it's caliche, not hard rock. You can see right there, we just kind of dug into it, see how far it goes, and it's like caliche, it's soft rock, soft-ish, where a excavator can just pull it out. But you can see up there, as we get higher, there's a layer of hard rock. And we get into that in a minute. But right now, it's not too bad. We're able to pull out this stuff here, shove it over to the right, and it's working fairly well. This looks a little impassable by truck and RV, but I'm in a Bronco Raptor. Ugh. Whew. I had no idea it was on the other side of that. I'm glad there wasn't a huge drop off. Okay, looking great, looking great, looking great. And then we get to here, where you start seeing that shelf of rock coming in. And you can see where we've tried to dig through that and it just scrapes it and won't come off. We're able to dig under it, but that is a huge shelf of rock. Let's keep going up. This part, I don't know what that was. This part is where it gets a lot steeper. And so it's because we can't cut down anymore because this rock is just hard rock. And so we haven't really been able to make much progress here besides cutting cedars out of the way. And this is way too steep for an RV. So we're gonna have to get a little more creative on this. Excavators aren't gonna work. We're gonna need something big. But I just drove all the way up our road. It is totally passable by a Bronco Raptor, which it was not a few days ago. So we're making headway. Here's the deal, guys. The road is 3 times more expensive than I thought it was gonna be. So I'm a little worried about that. I was like, yeah, let's just knock out a road. And then I thought we wouldn't need to get through the hardest rock in the world, but apparently that hill is made out of diamonds. So that's gonna be way more expensive than just pushing it with an excavator and dozer. It's gonna be some big coin going out very soon. Also, another bad news, the river is completely dry. It's terrible. It's really bad. Like, this place is valuable because it has a river. And it's pretty because it has a river. And there's a reason to come out here because it has a river. So if there's not a river, we're in a terrible drought right now. Apparently this is like the worst drought in 50 years. I was talking to some old timers and like, they said the river hasn't been this low in 50 years. So I was worried for a second. I was like, is this gonna happen every summer? Like, you got water in the first half of summer and then the second half, nothing. But they were like, no, this is pretty weird. This is pretty rare. So still not a great feeling when I've only owned this place for 4 months and it hasn't been flowing for the last couple. That's all right. I'm sure there'll be other, like, you know, bright points on this video. Like this building. It's got to be a bright point, right? Like, this is the biggest building on the property. We're gonna make our ballroom out of it. Let me tell you what we found when we started digging. So I had this grand plan to come in here because it was a 2-story building. If you don't remember, there was like a weird apartment / maybe like a bride or groom's like getting ready room upstairs. And then there was the sauna and stuff over there. There was a bunch of meeting rooms. There was like gym over there. The sides of the building were bad. We knocked them down instantly. You can see all we have left is a slab and some sheep out there. But the center of the building looked great. Like, not a lot of rot. The walls were still pretty good looking. But then I thought, you know, it'd be cool is to raise this roof up. So we don't have 2 stories, it's just 2 stories tall. So I thought we'll remove all these rafters here, push it up, and then we'll have a huge, tall ceiling in the center of this room, and it will look really good. So we started ripping stuff out. We took all the ceiling out. There was ceiling here, and it looked awesome. We took all that out. We ripped all the sheetrock from the upstairs out. We started pulling sheetrock down here. Found a little bit of rot at the bottom. Not super surprising. Then we found out these walls aren't really built right. There's like pony walls on top of the stud, the rafters that are going across. So this was like a 1-floor building, and then they built a 2nd floor on top of it at some point. They didn't do it right. Not a huge deal. Same deal on this side though. So you can see this stud, it goes up to here, and then they bump it up and they put a 2nd floor up there. And then even more right there. They should just have full length boards going all the way up. That's the better way to do it, so there's not a seam in the middle. But they did it the cheaper way. There also, you can see where there used to be a doorway there, there's a header there. There's a lot of weird stuff. Had a guy out here, a carpenter out here yesterday, and he was saying he thinks this might have used to have been a barn, because like there's some areas like over here where there's some weird headers that he thinks could have been barn doors. The walls aren't built right, we found out. It's all right, it's fixable. The walls are not good. Started looking at the slab a little more. Slab is about, I don't know, 3-4 inches thick here, which is not unusual, a 3 or 4 inch thick slab. Not a big deal. It's weird that there's sand underneath it. Like, that's a board. Okay, there's no slab under this. This is a footer, and there's just no slab under that. Strange, and then you can see there's actually some piers here. So piers with beams sitting on top of them, pier with beam, and then concrete in the middle, which makes him think further that, yeah, this was a horse barn that they later just decided to pour concrete in. The problem with just pouring concrete is supposed to have what are called beams around the outside, beams made of concrete, where they actually dig down and you have like 2 to 3 foot of concrete all around the edge of your slab. That's why when you see a slab at a house, it looks like it's 2 or 3 feet thick, when in reality, the middle part of the slab is not. It can be 4 inches thick, but around the edges and through the middle, they have what are called beams, which are huge, big support things of concrete and rebar. We found out this whole building doesn't have that. It just has a 4-inch slab of concrete with no structural beams anywhere. One other thing about the floor is it's also too low, which we knew before, but we figured we'd do some landscaping. But you can see how the ground up there is higher than the slab, which they try to do some landscaping. You see this little river that went around to drain water, but whenever there are any big rains, it was definitely gonna come right down here and leak into here. So the slab is too low, probably because it wasn't engineered at all. So the walls are bad and the floor is bad. Okay, what about the roof? The roof is not great. And you can see the metal from the bottom, which means they didn't put any decking on there. Decking is like the 4x8 sheets of wood, which help structurally, and they also will help insulate a little bit. It's just a better way to do it. So this is how they do it in barns. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just, it shouldn't be like that. It's better to have decking. So really we need to pull that roof off, put decking down. All they have is these 1x4 supports, but put decking on top of those and then put metal back on. And it'd have to be new metal, because you can't pull this metal off and then put it back on. It'll not work. It'll be all bent up. It'll lose its waterproofness, because you'll have different holes everywhere. And so I'm like, hold up. So walls are bad. Floor is bad. The roof is bad. I'm like, is there anything good in here? I asked my certified carpenter. He's like, yeah, rafters. The rafters are good. They did a good job on the rafters. And I'm like, man, it doesn't make sense to freaking fix the walls, completely fix the walls, figure out how to fix the slab, which means cutting beams through the concrete, cutting the concrete, filling it with concrete all around the edges, putting a whole new roof on just to save the freaking rafters. And I'm like, do we just need to knock this building over and start over? And he goes, yeah, you do. We put a lot of money into this building to find out it's worth nothing. We put a lot of work into the road to find out it's gonna cost a lot more than I thought. I put a lot of effort into this resort to find out the river goes dry. Maybe we'll get some wins someday. If I just keep working hard and persevering and putting my mind to it. But yeah, feeling pretty low right now. Just seems like bummer after bummer with this place. I'm gonna demolition ranch this building. How should I do it? I'm tired of the L. First try. I'm gonna end this video right here because I'm depressed and I'm selling the resort. I'm just kidding. We're not there yet. It may happen someday, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep plugging along and see if we can make this abandoned resort thing work. But right now, actually, today, the day you're watching this, Donut is coming out and we're gonna try to do a live stream. I'm gonna try to start doing some live streams just for fun, kind of show you guys like a more live, like, way to ask me questions, and I can show you some things that you don't see on these videos, and also a way to generate a little income. I'm trying to, get a little creative on how we can make this whole thing work. So Donut's coming out, he has Starlink, and we are gonna see if Starlink will be good enough to stream with, because there's not enough service out there to just stream with our cellular network. So we're gonna try Starlink. So if you wanna see Donut and I live stream, it's probably going on right about now. I'm gonna put a link in the description below on Twitch, Dr. Demolition Matt. And I will put an estimated time down there that we're gonna try to go live, because we're practicing, we're kind of learning. We haven't ever done a live stream through Starlink out of the resort. So yeah, expect some problems, but I'll be there live right about now.